So I just finished watching all 5 episodes of Masters of the Universe Revelation. And oh boy, He-Man fans, you're not going to like this. So let me just say this. This is going to be a spoiler-filled video. So if you do not want spoilers, I would highly suggest that you don't watch this. If you want a quick TLDR, all of the rumors were right. Every one of them were right. This is the Teela show. In fact, He-Man is a failure and a fool. There was one scene in particular. I'm going to go through it all. But I just finished watching this, so my thoughts are fresh. We're going to go over a lot of stuff. But there was one scene that really summed up how they treat He-Man in this entire series. So at the beginning, the first episode's actually quite good. I really enjoyed the first episode. He-Man was in the whole thing. And it sets up the story. Basically, the Power Sword gets split in two to save Eternia because Skeletor gets into the castle and he destroys the ball of magic that kind of feeds everything. And to save it, He-Man has to split the sword and it kills him. And it kills Skeletor. Well, Skeletor kind of survives. He actually lives in Evil Lynn's wand. He puts himself in there, but Adam does die. He comes back, though, and I'm going to get to that. Basically, the whole story goes to them having to go to hell and heaven to get the two pieces of the sword back together to save Eternia. And in heaven, Adam is there. That's where they find him. And they're kind of running around together trying to get King Grayskull. And Teela is with Adam. And they're basically in heaven, all of the He-Man get to have their forms. They get to keep their human forms, and Adam is the one that chooses to stay like that. He's the only one that stays in his wimp form. But when they're chasing down King Grayskull, Adam falls, and he falls in the mud. He's covered in mud. Looks like a fool. Teela races ahead, and she's the one that gets to him first and gets to talk to him in a competition because they're on the hunt. King Grayskull is at the head of the pack. Adam falls in mud on his face. Teela rushes up to him and talks to him first. That kind of sums up the entire series treatment of He-Man. A fool who falls in the mud. That's exactly what he is in this show. He's a fool. And at the end, this is the big one. Right when he comes back to life, because he goes through a door in heaven that takes him back to Earth with everybody because they got to get back to Earth, and he decides to go back. He's about to say, I have the power. And right as that happens, Skeletor comes outside of Evil Lynn's wand, reveals how he hid himself in there, plunges his staff through Adam's chest. I doubt he's going to die, but it's implied that he's dead. He's laying there with Teela over him. And he takes the sword and says the magic words, by the power of Grayskull, I have the power, and he becomes Skelly God. So, I first talked about this toy in a video because I said it confirms the rumors that he's going to take the sword and become He-Man, and Teela has to defeat him. And then Adam is going to step aside, and she's going to become the new He-Man or whatever she becomes. Okay? Now, that's going to be part 2. So part 2, now that the magic has been restored to Eternia, is going to be about dethroning Skelly God, who's obviously going to go to the castle and take the king and queen down. And it's going to be an apocalyptic world with him as the king. And I promise you, what's going to happen is Teela is going to lead the revolution, take him down, And then Adam will become king, right? He'll become king of Eternia, and she will become the champion. I 100% predict this is going to happen, and I'll be surprised if I'm wrong. So He-Man will not be in part 2 because Skeletor has the sword. It's going to be Teela versus him because Adam's a wimp. They've already established that he's a fool and a loser during part 1. All of those rumors were right. This was the Teela show. 100%. She is the hero of the show, and she will be the hero of part 2. Kevin Smith literally ran around saying this wasn't going to happen. He-Man does no stepping aside. He lied over and over again. It's kind of sad. Like, why would you... Like, it's okay, so people had their suspicions. He-Man, it used to be He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Now it's just Masters of the Universe. That right there was the biggest hint that He-Man is no longer like the central guy. I can't wait to see Teela's form with the sword. She's going to look like She-Hulk in Marvel Comics. And I'm not talking about the old pretty one. I'm talking about the one that looks like Bruce Banner. So, you know... If you look back at the history, I've learned a lot about He-Man over the past couple of months. In the history of the show, He-Man was the boys' show, She-Ra was the girls' show. And there was already a She-Ra show, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem with that show. I didn't watch, I didn't care about it. But how come in this show, that's supposed to be, I would imagine, for boys, well, no, now it's for everybody. So why does She-Ra get a show that's for girls specifically, but He-Man's show has to be for everybody, right? You know, it's really messed up that, like, boys can't have a superhero that's for them. What's wrong with having a show that's for boys and a show that's for girls? Why is that so taboo? And why is it so taboo that the show for boys now has to be for everybody? Why is that such a big thing? Why can't boys have a character like this that's a hero? Why can't this guy have his own show be about him? Why does he have to step aside for Teela? Who, by the way, Teela for sure is into chicks. And I don't really think that it's a big deal or whatever. But you know who is going to find a big deal in it? The community that they're trying to bait in with that. Because they imply it, but they never show it. And they don't like to be baited. Okay? First off, that's kind of disrespectful because you're not going to go, if you're not going to go all the way with it, why even do it? Okay? If you're going to upset anybody, you're going to upset the core fans of this show. Those are the people that you're going to upset. And so many people are probably going to tune in for this. Action figures were selling like crazy. I've seen 2 Walmarts that had pallets of these figures completely cleaned out. Are they going to sell when this becomes the Teela show? I don't think so. But it's just such a shame that boys don't get a hero like this anymore, you know, and it has nothing to do with his color, all right, which a lot of people, you can't, first off, like, they're not going to allow a character like that anymore, but just a big muscle-bound dude that takes care of business. That's what I'm mostly talking about, and that's what He-Man is, a big muscle-bound dude that takes care of business, and not in this show, not in He-Man Masters of the Universe. So he's just a giant fool who gets cucked in his own show. And Skeletor is going to be the protagonist or the antagonist of the next series as He-Man. And Teela's going to take him down. And I promise you 100%, that's the ending of this show. Adam's either going to die or he's going to become king. And Teela is going to become He-Man. She's already the man-at-arms. Well, she was going to be. She walks away because she's like, well, they make her angry woman. The default character for female heroes now, angry. That's pretty much it. So that's the show. And this headline sums it up pretty good. Masters of the Universe, Revelation Media Reviews confirm series sidelines He-Man. Grace Randolph asserts series has no strong male leads or support characters. And that's 100% right. And a show that was designed for boys has no strong male leads or support characters. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I got up real early today so I could get up and watch all these because I got a lot of stuff I got to do today. And, man, what a disappointment. And a show that could have been really, really cool. Kevin Smith, you're a liar. 100%. I can now say it, not going to secondhand information. I've seen it myself. You dragged Clownfish TV through the mud for a year and a half, and you were lying the whole time. You knew you were lying, and that makes you a disgust. You are disgusting, Kevin Smith. You lied, and you ruined people's name. You tried to. They're going to come out like spectacular from this because they were 100% right, and you look like a jerk. You look like a jerk, man. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about all this. I'd like to hear from you. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. And hit that notification bell. Leave some comments, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment. Make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that and subscribe if you're new.